we generalize homelessness, and we can't do that. Homelessness challenges look different for those who are youth, those who are families, and those who are adults. And we have to address it that way, and it's very complex. So I'm very pro bringing a mental health department to Long Beach. It will not only bring resources, funding, but it will also increase public safety, because when we house folks, we automatically increase public safety. So there's a way that we can meet the needs that everyone is talking about in terms of homelessness, small businesses thriving, economic challenges that people are facing, mental health, even in terms of climate, traffic, congestion, all of those things. There's something that's similar with all of them, and at the root, there's the lack of equity so far in Long Beach, and we can do a better job of creating that. And I'm all about getting to the root cause. I don't want any more Band-Aids in Long Beach. I want to be able to create sustainable systems that allow everyone to have economic growth and be successful and be well, right, and create community care. So I'm very community-based systems, and I have 3 small kids in public school in Long Beach. I'm a single mother, and I'm very dedicated to Long Beach and the people of Long Beach. So I'm so thrilled to be here. I'm so excited to have my name in the hat and just put up a fighting chance, because whether I'm there or not, I will still be actively involved in Long Beach and fighting for all those things that I'm very passionate about and I care about deeply, and that's creating equity in this city and allowing to be a voice for everyone. So thank you so much for having me. I don't know if anyone has any questions, and that's all I have for right now.
Yeah, any questions, folks, from the floor?
I have a quick one. They were talking about changing the district boundaries. Did it end up staying the same? I'm not sure.
Yeah, pretty much the same. It changed a little bit. Some people were, but it basically stayed the same.
Okay.
There was a few changes. Yeah.
I have a question. Oh, wait, I have a question. As a 3rd district resident with my fellow board member, Nada, are we
So many third districts.
It is an extremely conservative district in a sense when it comes to Long Beach dynamics. I remember in 08 it was all McCain, 2012 was all Romney signs, and then 2016 I had a bunch of Trump signs.
Yeah.
But how is it that you're directing your campaign in a district that is primarily conservative to have voters vote for you in that district?
So I'm really grateful for my base group. I have an idea that I'm working on in terms of especially the businesses, the small businesses in Long Beach, in terms of Second Street that we can try first and then move forward with other small businesses in Long Beach. But a lot of business owners in Second Street don't live in Long Beach. So their investment looks different in terms of how we want Second Street to look and thrive. And I know a lot of folks who are more conservative care a lot about Second Street, which we all do, right? But that is something that my brother-in-law brings us, and he's a property owner in Belmont Shore in his 50s, and that's something he really cares about. He's like, Second Street doesn't look the way it did 30 years ago, and that's disappointing. So I want to build relationships with those business owners and see how we can work together to stand shoulder to shoulder to really create a thriving Second Street again and allow for our small businesses to be successful and be primarily folks from Long Beach, because that's what we want to see. So whether that's them lowering rent a little bit, because there's a lot of businesses that are empty right now, so they're not making money. So how can we work together so that we can create a thriving Second Street and really make it about Long Beach? I know climate resiliency is really important to a lot of conservatives. That's just equally as important to me. And I look forward to having those conversations, because I'm not afraid to have uncomfortable conversations and hold space for other people's opinions. I can understand what they value and listen to them and be a voice for them, but I know that I can do that equally for other folks as well. I'm not going to choose, it's not black and white. I'm going to hold space for everyone and be the voice for everyone. So I don't think any other candidate is able to do that. A lot of other candidates are focusing on other topics that I don't necessarily think are getting to the root causes of how we really need to shift and change Long Beach to be sustainable long term. Like, we can no longer use Band-Aids. We can no longer just take homeless folks off the Second Street and then we don't see them, so they don't exist. That's not working. So I'm looking forward to those opportunities because I also identify in a certain way where I can have those uncomfortable conversations with folks that are more conservative. I did it a lot during the pandemic in my neighborhood in Belmont Shore, and it was challenging, and yet it brought us closer together. So I'm not afraid to do that and open spaces for that and to serve everyone.
Anyone else?
I have a question. So then, I'm curious, how do you balance that out? Because my understanding of the new third district now is that it what used to be fourth district is now part of third. No,
Not, she kept it out.
Maybe a little bit.
maybe a little bit. Okay. No, I'm just. Never mind.
Most of the same.
Yeah.
Robeson?
I have a motion.
I can't hear you.
I have a motion to make.
Okay.
It's the same problem. Oh, you're the only candidate. Not
Okay.
fun. All right.
that
I
would
move. Yes, we can, Democratic Club, endorse Kaylee, who's the only Democratic candidate, the third district, in Long Beach City Council. Second, well, let's do one at a time. That's my motion.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I have another motion.
Well, let's finish this one. Okay, you're the endorsed candidate.
I move we provide the candidate with a check for $100 and funds.
Did you say 1.2 million?
1.2
My fundraising is done.
I'm sorry, Robeson. That was how much?
$100 US.
And do I have a second on the floor to contribute $100 to our endorsed candidate? Nita, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? You get $100. The endorsed candidate, which is a whole lot more as the endorsed candidate, as I commented on earlier. Robeson, well, you're on fire tonight,
I
man.
am ready to go.
Get him to a gay restaurant.
I still have jet lag from my trip. So listen, I have another motion that we endorse Josh Lowenthal for the 69th Assembly District Representative.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor to endorse Josh Lowenthal for the 69th.
I will second it.
Nita seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? We have an endorsed candidate for the 69th, Josh Lowenthal.
I'm sure it will.
What about, I mean, you're giving all these other people $100.
Oh,
Come on, wait a minute.
Lowenthals don't need our money.
Anybody make a motion to contribute to another endorsed candidate?
Well, I will move that we contribute $100.
I second.
I said,
I know, I'm like, wait a minute,
I was running out of motion.
we give cheap food. Haley,
Things we believe.
another endorsed candidate?
Yeah. All
Okay,
Aye.
a second, Nita was the first, I need a second.
Second.
Robeson, or you guys, or we'll give it to Mark this time.
Yeah.
Going back and forth.
Sure, yeah.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? An endorsed candidate. And those folks that are not in the Essendon Democratic Club, we have membership forms right over here, hint, hint, to join the club,
You need your
to
truth so
vote.
we can get the money.
To vote. You have to be a member in good standing to vote.
That's what we do. We
Okay, so round of applause for our endorsed
candidate.
candidate over here. And they get really hot for Josh. Really loud. Oh yeah, we'll do. We'll go to a
couple of judges.
Have these folks back here running for the. And I'm just going to announce them. I was contacted relative to candidates running for Los Angeles County Superior Court judge, and they're known as the Defenders of Justice. And I've never. Nate and I were commenting on this earlier. And I love their style in a sense that a slate running for Superior Court Justice. I've never seen a slate in all the years that I've been coherent in politics. So, ladies like to come up and introduce yourselves. We're gonna have it this evening. There's 4 on the slate, but tonight we have the trio. So we're gonna hear from each of them. And then they will speak on, one of them speak on behalf, or all 3 of them on behalf of their one colleague on the slate.
Sure, of course. Can I grab one more chair?
I'm sorry?
Can I grab one?
Oh, I'll get it for you.
Sorry, so what's your
Oh, just go ahead. We'll give you each one of you 3 minutes to speak,
Okay.
and relative to your candidacy. And then if one of y'all or the three of you want to take up the 3 minutes for the other candidate that's not here and speak on their behalf. So go ahead and each introduce yourself.
Well, hello everyone. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Hello, Democrats.
Yes, we will.
Yes, you will. And my name is Holly Hancock. I'm a deputy public defender for Los Angeles County. I've been doing that for the last 16 years. I was very interested to hear about the points of view about homelessness and housing and how to make some changes, because currently for the last 2 years I've been the deputy in charge of the criminal records clearing unit for the Los Angeles County Homelessness Initiative. So I really work more directly with the Board of Supervisors, and we go out and try to get people's records cleared who's already completed everything they have to complete with the criminal side. They've completed their convictions, their probation, everything they've had to do. And now they're trying to get back into housing. And now they're trying to get back into jobs. And it's really hard without getting those cases, those records cleared off. So that's what I do. I interface with a lot of different community organizations and reentry organizations. So I do a lot of work out in the community, and then we hold events to get that, exactly to get that kind of expungement, it's the expungements, to try to get that done. So, you know, I'm coming from a different perspective than many of the people who usually run for judge. And people who run for judge have money, they have connections to power, they have connections to big government. You know, they either represent the government as the prosecutors. So it's very unusual that there are 3 of us who are public defenders and one who is a civil rights attorney, and they'll be speaking to you shortly. But it's very, very unusual. I ran in 2018, and I was the only public defender in a field of 22 other people who were running. Most of them were prosecutors, and in the past 16 years since I started at the public defender's office, and I really was aware of it, there have been only 2 other public defenders who've run. So you can see that the bench is basically it's one-sided. I mean, they come from one side of the courtroom, or they are representing big government. And I'm one of the people who, I fight for the people. You know, I work for people. I'm a union official with the public defenders, one of the union officials. And in the past life, I was a union official I'm a union steward with 148, but in the past life, I was a union official during 9/11 with the Association of Flight Attendants. So if you go to our website or go to my website, you'll see that I have quite a few unions, people, folks in the community who are supporting me, and a handful of judges, but I'm not the judge's judge. I'm the people's judge, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Yes We Can Democratic Club. It was really nice to get this invite, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm also a lifelong deputy public defender, like Holly. I've been doing it for going on 20 years now. I've been with the Public Defender's Office. And my husband and I moved here from the Bronx. We packed up a U-Haul and we came out here 20 years ago. My husband and I are both proud union members. I'm with 148. My husband's a SAG-AFTRA member. And we have public school educated children. My husband and I are both public school educated. We both come from sort of blue collar families who kind of, our parents rose up using higher education, and we benefited from that. I decided to run because after 2 decades of being inside the courtroom, I saw a cycle that never seemed to break, and it really seemed to repeat itself over and over. I've had clients who I've had become my clients again years later. And I saw that them going off to jail or prison really didn't do anything to change the trajectory of their lives. I've worked in the juvenile division. I've even had the opportunity to represent a parent and then see their child come through the system. I saw that cycle of what we're doing in LA County and what we're doing with our criminal legal system is not doing anything to make us more safe. We're all concerned with public safety. I think that's a common thread that everyone is concerned about and everyone wants. But the question is, how do we achieve it? How do we tackle crime and how do we get to public safety? We've been doing the same thing for decades and we are not getting any better outcomes. In fact, they're probably getting a little bit worse. And one of the things that we need to disrupt is we need to put new people into the decision-making places. So as Holly said, it's been very overwhelmingly prosecutor to judge. And I think that what happens is everyone comes at it from the exact same viewpoint. And we've been in court over and over where it's just, how long is someone going to go away to prison? But we're not treating the addiction that underlies the reason why the crime was committed. We're not treating the mental health issues that are leading people into lives of crime. And then we're still having bad outcomes. So I would like to sort of reimagine justice in LA County. And that was a perfect time to end.
30 more seconds.
That's perfect. I'm really here to reimagine the justice system, be more creative, utilize the programs that both the Board of Supervisors have approved and put in place and the voters have approved. So the voters have voted for things like mental health diversion. The Board of Supervisors has put programs into place. They've just started the Care First Jails Last program. But unfortunately, we have bench officers who want to block that. We're here to follow the law, to implement these wonderful alternatives to incarceration and reimagine a better justice system. Thanks so much.
Hello, fellow Dems. I'm Carolyn G. Young Park. That's how my name will look on the ballot. I'm running for Judge of the Superior Court Office number 118. I'm running against 2 career DAs and a former career DA who is endorsed by Jackie Lacey, and an administrative law judge and a county counsel who represents the county. So I'm running against folks who have been part of the system that we currently have. And I would like, and we would like, a system that looks different, that doesn't have the largest jail system in the world. That's what LA County has. At a cost of $106,000 per year per inmate. It's a business. So how do we have true public safety? As the others have spoken about, we need to focus on rehabilitation, on mental health services. Where I live, there are so many people who clearly have mental health issues and have nowhere to go, have nowhere to turn. And we, as judges, and I as a judge, would like to connect the people who come into my courtroom with the services that they need so that they can become productive citizens and not, wards of the state or liabilities of our taxpayer dollars. I come from a labor background. I worked for SEIU Local 1000 for many years. I litigated many cases, and I'm currently handling civil rights cases, labor, and small business matters. I bring a fresh perspective to the bench that will, and as a judge, I will apply the laws that the assembly candidates here, the exciting laws that they will pass. So as judges, we can obstruct the laws that, as some judges are doing, right? Or we can apply those laws and be part of a reimagining of public safety that actually keeps us all safe and is actually moral and is even cost effective. I humbly ask for your endorsement.
if I could also just mention, we do have a fourth person on our slate. Her name is Anna Slotky-Raytano, and she is home because one of her children is sick, so she wasn't able to come down here today. She wanted to be here, and I'm just passing along that Anna is also a deputy public defender. She works in the San Fernando courthouse. She's worked in juvenile. She's worked in adult felonies. She's an active trial attorney right now. And she also would humbly request that this club consider her endorsement. She's a union steward with our Public Defender 148, and she also is sorry she can't be here and would also request your endorsement along with us if you all would humbly consider that. Thank you.
Family first. Robeson.
I want to thank the three of you for not here. You come down here to Long Beach from La Crescenta, from the Valley, from all over LA County to seek our endorsement. That's impressive. And what you've laid out for us is a very impressive, progressive alternative to the processes of the judicial system. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question. You are probably not the right people to ask this, but you are the only ones here, I imagine, that can answer it. When does the whole vetting by the ABA start and all of that? And what are the four of you, how are you qualified by them? How are you rated?
I can just say that it's underway, and I actually just had my interview by the committee last night. So I'm actually not sure when the ratings are going to be issued, but it's in progress.
They have what I do know is that we speak to the committee first. We have our interviews with the committee, and then it goes to the body, as that happens with many groups. And I believe that it will be going to the body for the overall vote on the committee recommendation mid-April, I believe. That's what they told me.
Yeah, can I just add in one more thing about that? You know, we are, as we've been saying, sort of a different kind of person that doesn't traditionally run for judge. And one of the things that's been really interesting for me in this process is going through the LA County Bars Association's process. They sort of don't know what to do with people like me. It's like they're very structured in a certain way. It's like an institutional way that they're used to doing this, right? And they asked me and kind of questioned, I was going to look for the right word. They kindly asked me about things that I think they would not have asked the same questions of the many, many, many prosecutors that have come through. It was kind of like they asked me questions like, how could you possibly be neutral? You've been a public defender this long. And I just think that's very interesting.
Yes.
You know, it's like, I wonder if they're asking prosecutors the same type of thing, you know, so.
Because they have interviewed in previous judicial elections people who were working as public defenders at that time and gave them highly qualified, well-qualified recommendations. So it's not a situation that they are uncomfortable with giving a good recommendation to somebody who isn't coming out of their regular pipeline.
Sure.
Because they're offering, you know, recommendations to all kinds of attorneys all over the county
But-
for lots of things.
Right. And keep in mind, there's only been 3 public defenders in probably the last 20 years that have ever run. 3 total. And no public defender has ever been elected by the people of LA County to be judge. So you all get to be the first. And
Love it. Oh, Robeson?
Yes, I have a motion. My motion is that the Yes We Can Democratic
Wait,
Club.
can I ask a question? Were there any other questions? And as president, I have to ask this question. The entire slate are registered Democrats?
oh yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's my only question I had. Elaine, did you have something? Okay.
My motion,
Gian wants to add something.
I actually was elected executive board member in the California Democratic Party in the ADEM elections last year. And then I resigned after filing for this race because you cannot, a judicial candidate cannot hold a leadership position in a political organization.
Which assembly district was it?
Assembly District 51, which is now 52.
Okay, and who's the assembly? Who was the assembly member at 51?
Assembly member Wendy Carrillo.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so my motion is that as long as it's acceptable to the 3-4 of you, is that, yes, we can, Democratic Club, endorse your slate, that we provide a $100 stipend to the slate, and as appropriate, we'll reproduce your materials, we'll help you design them as necessary, and get the word out. That's my motion, I think.
Second.
Well, that's two different motions. One is to endorse. So let's focus on endorse first. Okay, Elaine, second the endorsement. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'd like to wait until the ABA recommendations ratings come out.
Well, then you need to vote against the motion.
Okay. No.
Nay. That's opposed, nay. And then abstentions? So we had 1, 2, how did you vote?
Me?
Nada was, you remember this club? Okay, I'm all putting him on the spot. I didn't see it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in favor, 1 opposed. Yeah.
City carries.
All right, so the second motion would be to provide a stipend or donation to the slate of $100 and support for your materials. Okay?
So you're saying, I'm sorry, just to clarify, $100 between the entire
For the entire slate, yes.
So $25 because we have to contribute to each candidate.
No.
Thank you. That
It's
is
not
correct.
broken up. We have to give each candidate
you're gonna have to-
$25.
You would have to do.
Yeah, we would have to because they're all filing
Then
differently.
I'll retract that motion. I'll restate the motion, a $50 donation per candidate.
Okay. A second?
I'll second it.
Nada? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Yeah, I'll abstain.
You abstain?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, because you have to. Then go with the first
yeah,
one.
because
She wants.
I only have.
She'll abstain but not give you money.
slightly split
Or give you money.
minority.
Okay, so endorse candidates. Put some money back in. And then also
That's
is
great.
our past president, Chris Robeson, commenting that includes, I don't know if you heard earlier, what our club, does relative to the table at farmers markets. And on, on our dollar, we do in-kind donations of, we'll ask for your campaign literature. We'll go to a union printer, print it out, we'll make buttons like these, and then we would just need your flyers for when we're tabling out here in Owen County. Mostly just Long Beach, mostly.
And if you invite us, we'd love to table and, we look for opportunities to meet
To
people.
do that, yeah.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Well, and we'll probably start. I'm sorry, Robeson. Go ahead.
Yeah, just a quick clarification. So you're running individually,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
But can you promote yourselves as a slate?
Yes.
They already are.
They are,
I
yes.
sent you the webpage that they have. It's
Just
awesome.
thinking graphically,
Yeah.
if we could present the slate, it's one piece versus, all right?
Oh, exactly.
You can, yes.
And the buttons we maybe could do individually, but I'd like to have some kind of promotional piece at our table that talks about what your overall objective as a slate is. Sure. As you outlined individually.
Oh, for you.
We have a website for our slate. You can visit
Yeah, the
it.
slate is. The website is really. I'm impressed. I was like, I just love that it's for the slate for.
It's actually run by Ground Game LA. that
Oh, is
wants
it?
to develop the slate, the website.
Yes.
Cool, thank you.
Dr. Bernal.
I was going to say about the website too.
Okay. Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And then relative, this is our treasurer over here, so this is the one that talks about getting your money. I don't know if you got the checkbook or not, but I do have your contact,
Great.
and I can email. Oh goodness, what's your name?
Then you can just send it to me.
Brittany.
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 Thank you,
Yeah.
Brittany.
Yeah. She's the one who reached out.
So yeah, so I will email Brittany and say that we endorse the entire slate and each candidate,